It's a great value proposition on AT&T, and it's packing some killer specs to be available for just $99.99. I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com. This is the Motorola Atrix HD, a new contender in the Android marketplace with an HD display, an 8-megapixel camera, and more. And it's only $100. Let's check it out in the full review. Let me tell you a little story. When you work in an office, it's easy to go down into the city and get coffee. But you know, from time to time, those $3 cups add up. And when you look at your monthly bills, you're like, this is a lot of money. Well, if you're looking to save money somewhere else outside of coffee, the Motorola Atrix HD could be a great option for you. It's available now from AT&T for $99.99, being sold at Best Buy Mobile for $49.99, so even more of a deal from Best Buy Mobile. On that topic, when you go into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working. They'll help you set up your email, your web, all that stuff, so when you walk out the door, you're good to go. They hook us up with a bunch of phones like this for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game, which we turn around and give to you on the site. But this is the Motorola Atrix HD. If you're somebody that's like, hey, I've been wanting that Motorola Droid Razr, but I'm on AT&T, this could be the device for you. To give you a spec rundown, it has a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon S4 CPU, a 4.5-inch HD display, 720p HD, at 4.5 inches, on-screen buttons rather, so another device outside of the Galaxy Nexus that packs on-screen buttons. Android 4.0 with Motorola's custom user interface, which fortunately continues to get less and less intrusive as the updates come out. This one's even less intrusive than the Droid Razr and the Droid Razr Max update we saw last week on Verizon Wireless. Some nice updates as well, which we'll talk about in just a minute. An 8-megapixel camera on the back with 1080p HD video recording and a front-facing shooter as well. Also packing a 1,780 milliamp hour battery. Unfortunately, it's non-removable though, and you've got this nice back as well, with a Kevlar back and then a Gorilla Glass front. So this thing, much like the Droid Razr and the Droid Razr Max, is going to withstand a punch. Well, maybe not a punch. If you actually directly punch the screen, it might ruin the device, but it's going to withstand a drop or a fall or a minor scuffle and probably survive, so that's always good. So it's got those up-to-date specs, and it's one of those things where it's up-to-date. It measures in an 8.4 millimeters thin, it's 0.33 inches thick, which is also 8.4 millimeters. That's really nice, and it's a thin device. It looks good. It's a little bit more rounded than the Droid Razr and the Droid Razr Max, but going to be a good device, and it's $100, which is really nice as well. Knocking the Lumia 900 down to $49.99. Then you got the Galaxy S3 and the One X on AT&T at $200. So it comes in at a nice price point that I think a lot of people are going to like. And unlike most devices that are at the $100 price point, this thing's packing specs that are pretty similar to the Galaxy S3, the One X, and some of these other high-end devices on the market. On the left side, you got over here your micro SIM card slot and your micro SD card slot. On the top, you've got an HDMI port and a micro USB charging port. 3.5 millimeter headphone jack up here as well, so you can listen to your tunes. Not that anybody says tunes anymore. Nobody says tunes. What is this? 1970? Power button over here, volume rocker over here on the right side. Then on the back you got your camera. So kind of that telltale hump, much like the Droid Razr, and to a lesser extent the Droid Razr Max. But still, this thing in the hand to me feels more like the Motorola Droid Razr Max. It's a little bit thicker than the Droid Razr, but again, not bad. Not bad at all. Now you're going to notice, out of all the user interfaces on the market, you look at the new TouchWiz, you look at Sense version 4, you look at LG's custom user interface. This to me bears the most resemblance to stock ice cream sandwich, which is weird considering just a couple of years ago we were all complaining about how obnoxious Motorola's Moto Blur was, if you remember that. Not the case anymore. Very non-intrusive at all, and really impressed with the way that it looks. So, non-intrusive, you got your buttons down here at the bottom, your home button. And of course, I've got 7 home screens over here. Very fast all around, and then of course you can add home screens out of the gate. The only thing that frustrates me, and I can't figure out how to get this changed yet, when you hit home, it reverts back to the one all the way at the left. So it's assuming that far left one's going to be your home. Well, I'd like to have the center one as my home, but unfortunately it doesn't give me an option through here to make it home, or make that my default one. Recent applications as well, you're going to see right here, and I can easily swipe to remove those. Very easy there. And then you've got some nifty little stuff down here at the bottom. You've got your Gmail, which of course you can sub this stuff out as you see fit, but again, it looks a lot like stock ice cream sandwich. I can bring people down, for example, and then bring Gmail here. Now, if I focus in on this, you'll notice some arrows besides certain applications like calendar, phone, text messaging, browser, and more. What I can do is swipe it up, and you can see bookmarks as well. So I don't have to actually open the application. I can just go, oh, phone, no activity, messages, no unread. So I can see my unread messages, and I can actually see my list of text messages without even looking at the application itself. Same thing with people here. I can add people if I want to and add favorites, and they'll show up right here. This is a new widget as well from Motorola, and you can see the temperature and you can see the battery life as well. And I can go settings and you can see how much of my data I've used. So a really useful widget here, but of course if you don't like that, you can always remove it. But beautiful 4.5-inch HD display, which we'll talk about in just a second. I want to jump in here and again, take a look at the menu because the elements are very similar to stock ice cream sandwich, particularly in a place like this. So we're going to go ahead and see if we have a contact, Steven. I should have Bill Stevenson, fake contact. And I'll say the quick brown fox is happy. Happy to be in the office. And Motorola's user interface, and Motorola's keyboard rather, is already here. 4.5-inch display means it's relatively easy to type on, and transition effects are nice and fast. Now for those people that like your screen real estate, it is a larger 4.5-inch display, but the buttons on the screen do take up some of that screen real estate. And unfortunately in applications like the gallery and YouTube, those buttons stay on the screen. So still, I think somebody that's migrating from a BlackBerry or migrating up from the Droid Pro or something with a physical QWERTY keyboard is going to find a lot to like in this, especially in landscape. It works perfectly fine. And then in portrait mode, Motorola's keyboard is very, very decent, but again, there are updates here as opposed to older devices like the Droid X2. You're going to see some changes, and even the Atrix or the Atrix 2, you're going to see some changes to the keyboard. You'll also notice, again, the icons up here, 2 new messages. I can easily swipe to remove those and change my input method right here. I can go in and check swipe, or I can do Google Voice typing, and of course, there are plenty of third-party applications available in Google Play. But again, you can see just the way that this looks, and you can see that it looks a lot like, and again, back to the contacts here, or within text messaging that is, and you can see it looks a lot like stock ice cream sandwich. They've really done a good job of preserving the stock look and feel. And again, when I go into settings, for example, very similar to what you would expect from the Galaxy Nexus. No real differences to the look and feel. And of course, recent applications, I already showed you that. Let's take a look at browser. This is a 4G LTE device, so you do take advantage of AT&T's 4G LTE speeds if you're in a market that supports that. And so we'll go to phonedog.com and take a look at that. phonedog.com loading up. Now again, portrait to landscape transitions reasonably fast here. PhoneDog is loading up, optimized for mobile thanks to our new site design. You can see pinch to zoom, very responsive. And again, stock tab layout here where I can access new pages just by clicking the plus, and I can rotate back through my tabs, and I can swipe those away when I'm done and I go back to the main screen. Show you some of the wallpapers as well, because I think these really do a good job of highlighting how awesome this display is for a device that's $99. Keep in mind, 99 bucks, beautiful display, HD quality, very impressive. And then let's take a look at the phone while we're thinking about that. Dial pad here, no real changes, but again, recent and favorites up here at the top. So we'll just dial 611, for example, so you can see what the interface looks like. Again, a relatively stock feel here, though you'll notice that even when the buttons aren't in play at the bottom, you've still got your dots that turn into buttons when you want them to be buttons. So it's not like you get the screen real estate back when you're in calls or when you're in text messages or when you're in YouTube or when you're in the gallery. Unfortunately, those are there and they're there to stay. Kind of the same thing going on with people over here. Take a look at this, and we'll get out of the address book when we can. Cancel AT&T address book. And you can see, again, a very, very stock look and feel here. And take a look at Bill Stevenson, for example. Same colors, same kind of picture layout, and same phone. So if you're somebody that's like, I like the Galaxy Nexus, don't want to get the GSM version, I want a device that has 4G LTE, or maybe you just don't want to spend $350 on a phone unlocked and unbranded, you can get this device for $99.99 or $49.99 right now at Best Buy. You can take advantage of the subsidy, and you can get a device that's pretty darn close to stock ice cream sandwich. That's what I like the most about this device. Speaking of, let's take a look at settings. I know I'm kind of jumping around here, but you see some Motorola influence in here with the icons. And then of course you can go down here like Motorola's accounts and sync. You can know that, or you can tell that's a Motorola application or an icon rather right there. Printer settings, things like that. But again, you get some nice stuff out of the gate. When you go into display, it's got a very stock look and feel. So I think this is going to appeal to a couple of different people. One, people that don't want to spend $200 for the Galaxy S3 or the One X. They want a good smartphone. They don't want to pay too much out of pocket for it. And two, those people that don't want to root but want that stock look and feel of Android. It continues to get, and I can't believe I'm saying this after years of dealing with Motorola Blur, or Moto Blur rather, and then dealing with their custom UI. I can finally say, and it's pretty weird to say, that Motorola is the one that has the most stock appearance out of them all. Again, Gmail, look and feel really similar here, and then your calendar, and much like I was showing you a minute ago, you can just press up and easily access your calendar and see your events.